Om Shanti. The sweetest, the beloved Shiv Baba often reminds us, children, to follow Father. So today, let's know the 18 steps of beloved Father Brahma, and let's follow Father. The first step. Father Brahma was a total renunciate. He surrendered everything. He didn't think about what would happen or how it would happen. In a second, according to the Father's elevated directions, it was the Father's signal and Brahma's action or step. He surrendered his body without any worry for the future. He surrendered all his wealth because he had the faith that this giving was not giving. Rather, it was to receive multi-millionfold. He also surrendered his relationships. No, he didn't leave anything, but he transformed everything from worldly to spiritual. He surrendered the intellect that had the consciousness of the I, the intellect of ego. This is how he became constantly pure, cool, and a bestower of happiness with his body, mind, and intellect. The second step. Father Brahma was always obedient at all times and in everything, whether in self-progress or in giving sustenance to the yajna. He remained an instrument. Only Brahma is the special soul who has that unique part fixed in the drama. The same soul is the mother and also the father. While being an instrument for giving sustenance to the yajna, he always remained obedient. Although the task of establishment was a huge one, he didn't disobey any of the instructions. His attitude was always, "Yes, my Lord, I am present," in a practical way at all times. The third step. Faithful in every thought. A wife who is faithful to her husband cannot remember anyone except her husband, even in her dreams. In the same way, one saw the practical form of Father Brahma's faithfulness at all times with his consciousness of no one but the one Father. While being an instrument for establishment, by having one faith and one support, he easily overcame all adverse situations and inspired others too. The fourth step, a fearless server. The speciality in service was that on one hand, he was a very humble world servant, and on the other hand, had the authority of knowledge. To the extent that he was humble, he was accordingly a carefree emperor. The fearlessness of truth is the speciality of service. No matter how much his relatives, politicians, and religious leaders opposed him because of this new knowledge, they were not able to shake him even slightly from his position of truth and fearlessness. The fifth step, Father Brahma was a carefree emperor. Father Brahma's special wonder was that he did not have any physical example in front of him. Unshakable faith and the Father's Shrimad were his support. His intellect was always light, and on his face one always saw the clear signs of a carefree emperor. 350 children, and there wasn't even a flour to feed the children, and they had to be fed on time. His attitude, this is the Supreme Father's responsibility, not mine. I belong to the Father, and the children also belong to the Father. I am just an instrument. He did not use his intellect thinking, I don't know what is going to happen. Will everyone starve? Although there was scope for such weak thoughts and doubts, he always only had powerful thoughts. This is the speciality of surrender. The sixth step, always beyond laziness and carelessness. There is a saying, a true yogi is one who is a conqueror of sleep. There were never any signs of tiredness in Baba's life. Even though the body was old, Baba was engaged day and night in transforming the sanskars of human souls. Baba never postponed anything due to laziness. He never did anything with half a mind. With a full heart, with great determination, he completed every task with great enthusiasm. No matter the circumstances or how many obstacles there were, even if at first a task seemed impossible, Baba always found a way to complete the task. This was the sparkle, the shine, the power of the mind, the determination and fulfillment of his promise. The seventh step, a most elevated yogi. While speaking, Baba would disappear from the body. That is, he would become bodiless. On whomever Baba's drishti would fall, they too experienced being detached from the body. On coming in front of Baba, no one ever had a desire to say much. They would automatically receive a solution to all their problems. In his final days, everyone saw only silence and dead silence in Baba's room. His every action was Yog Yuk. While writing letters, listening to or meeting the children, he would always stay with Shiv Baba. He would eat his food very slowly and would repeatedly remind everyone, "Child, whom are you feeding?" At the time of bathing, Baba would say, "Child, I am pouring this water on Shiva." In this way, Baba made yoga a means of entertainment in every action. The eighth step. Father Brahma was still like an ocean. In Karachi, when children used to go and sit by the seashore, Baba would impart many lessons to the children. "Children, are you seeing the waves of the ocean? Look how the waves of the ocean are coming up to you and then going away again. You are the children of the ocean of knowledge, and so you have to pick up when the waves of Maya enter your mind this virtue from the ocean. You too have to make them go away." Then Baba would say, "Children, look, even if you throw rubbish into the ocean, it does not remain in the ocean. It gets thrown out by the waves to the shore. In the same way, no rubbish should remain in the minds of you children either. When a diver dives into the ocean, he brings back pearls and jewels from the ocean. You children have to churn the ocean of knowledge in the same way. Go to the depths of knowledge, and you will find precious pearls, jewels, and diamonds on the surface. There may be many waves in the ocean, but it is completely still below. You too must become still and patient." The ninth step, a model of simplicity. Baba was a great example of simplicity. He used to live in a small room that was very old and had a tin roof. That room was his rest room, his dining room, his office, and meeting place with the children. A white sheet covered his bed. The walls were painted white too. Baba didn't have any artificial decoration on himself or in his room. Baba would say, "Children, whoever has given even 1 paisa for this godly service, that 1 paisa is more valuable than 100,000 rupees. It is for purifying human souls and for the service of giving them peace. I cannot spend that on my own comfort or happiness. That would be dishonest with the treasure entrusted to me. Sitting in that room, Baba, the image of service, gave new life to so many souls. So many sat there and experienced the happiness of meeting God and had the thought of surrendering themselves to God. The 10th step. Father Brahma was an epitome of tolerance. Father Brahma faced numerous tests along the path. The first paper was of the bad words and assaults from people. The second was of the different obstacles that came in establishing the yajna. The third was that some Brahmin children became traitors and created opposition because of their discontentment about small or large matters. In every situation, Father Brahma remained light and made others light. He taught the lesson of tolerance with sweetness, good wishes, and pure feelings, even to those who came to oppose him. The result? Those who opposed him one day came the next day to ask him for forgiveness, and the words on their lips were, "Baba is truly Baba." This is called making those who fail pass with tolerance. The 11th step. Father Brahma was a lover of the Murli, the elevated versions of God. To do what the Father asks in each day's Murli means that the child is truly the Father's long lost and now found child, the obedient child. Father Brahma had immense love for the Murli and inspired the children as well. The Father comes from so far away to speak the Murli. Would there be any other teacher who comes from so far away just to teach you? He would ask the children. Baba did not miss a Murli for even one day. Even when he went to Bombay for one reason or another, he wrote the Murli and Mateshwari would read that Murli. Even on the last day, when his health wasn't so good, he didn't conduct class in the morning, but he became a Vyakt after conducting the evening class. This is why he was Murlidhar, the lover of the Murli. The 12th step, an incarnation of economy. Father Brahma's favorite slogan was, "Achieve greater glorification through less expense." He believed that there should be less usage of any treasure, but 100-fold attainment. For instance, with the treasure of thoughts, he would say, an ordinary person can experience success after 2 to 4 minutes of thinking, but we should be able to do it in 1 or 2 seconds. Further, he would say to the children, whatever saving there has been, whether in time or thoughts, you will be able to use it to serve others. Only those who have saved wealth can give donations or perform charity. He taught everyone this experiment of yoga. In less time, there should be greater results. With fewer thoughts, greater experiences. Indeed, Baba has been able to create so much in such a short space of time. This is why everyone says, this is Baba's wonder. The 13th step. Father Brahma was a bestower of respect to all. Father Brahma always considered himself to be the children's servant and saluted them as the masters. He gave them love filled with respect and saw them as future world benefactors. He always saw the Kumars, Kumaris, and youth as the ones who challenged the great, well-known souls of the world. He saw them as the ones who made the impossible possible. He always gave them respect, considering them to be great souls who performed even greater wonders than he did. Similarly, he considered the elderly to be experienced. He gave them the regard of being his equals. He saw those in bondage with the regard of being number one in having remembrance. Because he was number one in giving regard and respect in this way, he became the soul to receive number one imperishable regard and respect in the kingdom, and became number one worship worthy after the Father. He never thought that he would only give regard when he received regard. Rather, by remaining in the self-respect of being Adi Pita, he became the bestower of respect to all. The 14th step, a balanced act. Balance means to remain equal. Father Brahma was an example of a balanced act. He demonstrated equality in remembrance, tapasya, and service. Equality in power and love. Equality in having love and in being detached. He maintained a balance in every aspect. And this is why, rather than ordinary, his every thought, word, action, and relationship seemed alaukik, even miraculous. His every action became an art. His way of seeing, walking, speaking, etc. were all an art. The basis for all this was his ability to keep his intellect balanced. With the children, Baba would feed them toli with a lot of love and would take them for picnics. But at the same time, he would divert their minds away from food and drink from the streets outside, and would quiet the desires of their minds. He was very firm in making them do service tirelessly, but at the same time, he drew their attention to the state of their minds and their personal efforts. He always told the children there should be a constant balance of self-service and service of others. Balance, he taught by example, is what makes one great. The 15th step, Father Brahma was an inspiring example. The 15th step, Father Brahma is and will always remain an inspiring example. Not only did Father Brahma provide every facility and comfort, but by his unshakable, gentle strength, he instilled strength in the children. By seeing his untiring and ever happy face, the others took heart and renewed their energy. Though the road they travelled together was steep, though many difficulties came, no one ever gave in to hopelessness or weakness. Brahma Baba's friendship was the greatest treasure. Though he was old in years, he was the most playful yogis of them all. He worked long hours, efficiently performing every type of service, including the most menial work. This spirit of service, of humility and dedication, became the practical ideal for everyone. He taught souls how to cooperate, and always in the midst of the work, his intellect kept churning the knowledge, so that wisdom multiplied and remembrance became constant and natural. He demonstrated the method of complete soul consciousness. The 16th step, Father Brahma, a bestower of fortune. Baba never saw any child's weaknesses. Rather, he praised each child's virtues and filled that child with enthusiasm and happiness. By using that virtue for service, he would benefit that child by enabling them to receive godly power to transform their sanskars. If someone knew how to sew, Baba would say, this is very serviceable for God's yajna. Seeing an older person, Baba would say, the elderly are able to do a lot of service because they are experienced. If they relate the points of knowledge based on their experience, then those listening would be touched by that. Seeing an uneducated person, Baba would say, child, so what if you are not educated? Simply to know Alf and Be is enough. In this way, Baba would see the children, those from different places and age groups, with soul conscious vision, and engage them in one or another task for world benefit. The 17th step, Father Brahma remained a detached observer. Father Brahma practiced the foundation of soul consciousness very firmly. He would write in his diary, "I am a soul. This child is a soul." Jashoda, who was his Lokik wife, is a soul. Another practice he had was to hold a court of his workers, the physical senses, and ask about their welfare. Therefore, the children who lived with him in his last days experienced that even while performing actions and being in the body and walking and moving around, the Father was bodiless. He was experienced as an angel in the corporeal. Although he had to settle the accounts of karma in the form of physical illness, he did that as a detached observer. Neither was he influenced, nor did he give others the experience that he was settling his karmic accounts. No one was even aware that Father Brahma was becoming avyakt. It was because he practiced being detached, an observer, bodiless, over a long period of time. And that form was experienced at the end. The 18th step, combined with the Father. Baba had such love based on knowledge for Shiv Baba that he would make every situation instrumental for him to stay in remembrance. No matter how big the crisis, Baba's attitude was, Shiv Baba is the protector and benefactor. He will take care of everything. This is nothing new. Sometimes, when speaking the Murli, Baba would be so overcome with love for Shiv Baba that he would pause to ask the children, "How much love do each of you have for Shiv Baba? Is it as high as the sky or as high as the Brahma element?" Just saying, "Baba, Baba," there was always remembrance of sweet Baba in his mind. While eating, Baba would say, "You must eat your whole meal with Shiv Baba. Not just remember him at the start." He would walk with his beloved, talk with his friend, do everything with him. Just as at night, two very close young friends would go to their own homes to sleep, and then in the morning would go to each other's house and go to study or play together. In the same way, Baba would not stay without Shiv Baba. They never became separate from one another even through the night. Baba would say, "I am sleeping with Baba." This was such a deep relationship of love and remembrance. The incorporeal Father kept Brahma Baba, the corporeal instrument, in front of the corporeal children for them to be able to follow him in a practical way. He became an example in front of the children to make it easy for them to follow, because when one sees a powerful example, it is easy to follow. The Supreme Father Shiv Baba kept Brahma Baba as a symbol of love for the loving children, and he gave every child the elevated Shrimat to follow the Father at every step. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. Om Shanti.